Let's cut to the chase. You are probably spending way too much money on gifts for this holiday season. And if you want to end up financially free, this is probably hurting you. And does this mean you have to be stingy with the types of gifts you give? And the answer is simple. No, you just have to be smart about it. Welcome back to the show. My name's Jose Najarro, and I am your average guy grinding and working, trying to make it big and become successful in this world. And on today's episode, I am very excited because I am going to take a look at a few tips and tricks to help save money in this holiday season. And also, I'm here to show you how much damage you're actually doing to your account by buying so much expensive gifts. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button. It helps so much with the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to use the Webull link I have down there below so we can both get our free stock once you deposit $100. All right, so the first thing I want to show you guys is this article that shows on average how much money we are spending on gifts. Right now, most of us are spending about $1,000 or more on gifts, travels, and goodies. This is insane, right? I hear, unfortunately, sometimes hear that people are spending this type of money, but when we look at their bank account, when we look at their savings, they have almost nothing saved. So right now, if you're spending this type of money and you don't even have $1,000 in stocks, if you don't even have $1,000 in a savings account, and you're wondering why you're not moving anywhere, you're not getting anywhere in your bank account, you're not getting any investments, then this is your answers. We have to be smart with what we're spending this holiday season. And like I mentioned earlier, this does not mean you have to be stingy with the gifts you give. It just means you have to be at least smart with what you're buying. And let me show you another interesting thing. Study: on average, American savings account balance is $3,500. So this is insane. So the average American has about $3,500 in their bank account. It shows that 56% of Americans have $5,000 or less in their savings account, while 33% have less than $1,000. And then you have most of us are spending about $1,000 on Christmas. No wonder this is here. So this is what I'm trying to talk about. And let me show you guys how much you're actually wasting on these types of gifts. And now let's see what that money can actually be doing for you. If you're spending that, let's take a look at what an investment would look like. So right now, the stock market return for the past 10 years is about 9.2%, according to Goldman Sachs, one of the big banks. If you invest in the S&P 500, and this return gives you 13.6% on average. Doesn't mean every year it'll be 13.6%. Maybe some years might be amazing and be 33%, and maybe some years would be horrible and give you some negative percentage. But on average, in a long-term thing, is 13.6%. You might be like, Jose, I'm not into stocks or anything like that. But let me just say this, just investing in the overall market really needs no type of thinking. What you're actually doing is just investing in all the stock market. You don't have to worry about any specific company. You don't have to worry about anything else. You just invest in the overall market. And it's as easy as opening an account for your Starbucks, for your Netflix. Is as easy as that to open up an account to do that. I'm not saying go out there and invest in every single individual company, put all your money in Tesla. No, that's not what I'm saying. But investing in the S&P 500, in the overall market, it is literally one of the easiest things to do. And let's take a look at this. And now let's imagine this. Let's talk about if you're spending $1,000 a gift every year on Christmas, just $1,000 every year. Imagine if you put that, instead of spending it on gift, you put $1,000 a year into the stock market and invest in the overall market. Now let's say every year from here on out, you put an extra $1,000. $1,000, that's less than $100 a month. I'm pretty sure most of you are spending more than $100 on coffee, on food, going out. So this is probably roughly like $80-something a month. And now assume that the overall market, like we saw, returns 10% annually on average. Now, let's say I want this money to grow in 30 years. The amount of money I put into this investment account would obviously be $30,000, right? If I put $1,000 each year for the next 30 years. So that's how much money I would have put in the stock market. The amount of money this portfolio would be at the end of 30 years would be $181,000, almost $182,000. Again, this episode is not going to be about investing in the stock market at all, but I just want to show you what type of money one is losing by spending this type of money in gifts and stuff like that. So next, let's take a look at some tips. But remember, I'm not saying don't buy gifts for your family. Just be smart with your spending. And if you don't have that type of money in your bank account where your savings are probably less than $1,000 and you're spending more than what you have in your savings account, you really have to think about where you want to head in life, right? I'm not saying it's horrible. If you're happy with having $900 in your account and you don't mind spending $1,000, all be it to you, right? But at the end of the day, if you like that, in 5 years, you shouldn't be complaining that, hey, why am I not rich right now? Why isn't my account growing right now? Why is my savings so low? So obviously with everything, there is some form of consequence or reactance to it. So like I mentioned, first, let's take a look at tip number 1. The first one, I think, is stick to a Christmas budget. And unfortunately, let me start off, let me say this too. I might have been feeling like I'm attacking you. By no means, right? I honestly, as I got younger, when I was younger and I first got my first job, I was so excited to spend so much money for my family, for my friends, for my girlfriend, for now my wife, right? But I was so excited to spend so much money. But in reality, those gifts don't mean much. Though your family, your friends, your significant other will rather see you better yourself. In my opinion, I do believe that is a better gift for them. Instead of, like, let's say you're giving your freaking brother a whole new laptop, a whole new Apple Watch, a whole new phone. Why would you be doing that? Your brother, your sister would probably enjoy something as simple as maybe a t-shirt or something like that. So I understand, because I was there, right? I used to go when I first started getting my job, when I first got my job and I was making great salary at my first job compared to before college. I just wanted to blow it and give my thanks to everybody. And that I felt like that was the only way I could show my appreciation, but it's really not. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing that anyone appreciates is time. The time you spend with your family, the time you spend with your parents, the time that you spend with your friends, that is worth more. But obviously, if we're actually gonna take a look at some actual tips now. So the first one is stick to a Christmas budget. And this is pretty simple, right? Stick to a budget. Best thing to do is understand how much money you have in your account, understand how much money you're going to be putting in, or maybe you've been saving X amount of dollars for the past few months and make this piggy bank. So create your amount that you're willing to spend and don't go over it. Obviously, sometimes you might go over it, but at least by having this budget, it's going to show you, okay, maybe $50 over this budget might not be too much, but once you start saying, whoa, I'm $100 over my budget, that's definitely gonna start to kick into your brain, be like, okay, maybe I don't really need to buy this. The second tip is plan your Christmas gifts list in advance, and this is obviously pretty good, right? So understand who you're gonna buy gifts for: your parents, your brother, your sister, your spouse, your friends. What friends are you gonna buy a gift to? And let me say, I personally, I don't know if it's just because I'm an old guy already. I'm not actually that old. I'm only 28. But if a friend of mine got me something simple as a shirt from Target that was about Star Wars, or a shirt that was about the stock market, something as simple as a $15 shirt from a friend, I would remember that gift for the rest of my life. Like, every time I would look at that closet or pull out the drawer and then I see that shirt, I'd be like, this is so funny. This is the shirt my friend got me for Christmas. A book, for example, me, I don't mind reading. I enjoy reading, actually. And if you got me a book about the stock market or about Star Wars, even if I had the book already, I would 100% put it in my library and I would remember that. If your friend is gonna complain to you that you or feel some type of way that you got them a gift that meant something for you and for them, and they're gonna complain that they didn't get a more expensive gift, I think you need to reassess who your friends are and if you should actually be giving them a Christmas gift, right? But that actually comes to my next tip, and this is the third tip that I thought was pretty useful as well. Have some form of gift giving philosophy. For example, don't go out if you and your friends normally give each other very expensive gifts, right? Don't show up out of nowhere and then next Christmas and this upcoming Christmas you give them a $10 book and they show up with a freaking $200 gift, because that's what you guys normally do, right? What's a great thing to do, and this is what I personally do. This Christmas I emailed my cousin, I emailed my brother, not emailed them, I actually texted them. I don't know why I said emailed them, but I told them, hey guys, this Christmas gift, let's give each other a $25 budget. So what does this do? First, it helps me balance my money. It helps me understand that I'm not gonna go more than $25 on them. The second thing, it brings expectations. My cousin, my brother are not gonna expect $100 gift, so they're not gonna go out there and buy me $100 gift, right? The worst thing to do is give myself a budget and then they come up with a heavy gift and I give them a $10 gift and then they give me a $100 gift. That obviously, in their eyes, they would feel some type of way, which is completely understandable. So talking with them ahead of time, and I'm pretty sure most people don't want to spend a lot of money. So if you email your friends, hey, they normally buy gifts, hey, right now let's come up with a budget, $25. So now you guys have a plan in mind. And similar with your spouse, with anybody, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with your wife, with your husband. Hey babe, this Christmas, let's try to buy something simple, something within maybe the $50 range for each other. Obviously, you spend a little more for your spouse and be like, okay, and if you're married, oh babe, for our parents this month, this Christmas, let's only spend X amount of dollars. And then like that, you know how much money to spend. It helps create that budget list, and it also helps create that list in general of who you're getting the gifts to. So obviously, I hope these ideas help you out. And I do hope the first part of this episode kind of was an eye-opener. Later on in this channel, I'll probably show how to invest in the overall market. And just the overall market. I have a second channel for those that don't know, which is pretty much very stock market dependent, and I talk about different companies. But just investing in the overall market is probably the easiest thing. It takes about 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a week if you have to do that, or if you get paid every other week, probably 5 minutes every 2 weeks. And it definitely helps that wheel going for whenever you want to retire and you have a nice amount of money. Remember, like I said, right, $30,000, $1,000 each year for the next 30 years will possibly become $181,000, almost $182,000. That is life-changing money, right? Imagine at 58 you come up with $182,000. With that money, you can probably go and buy a house in such a low tax area and not have mortgage. Use that to pay off all your debt that you came up with. So it's definitely money that can literally change your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Like always, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget, let me know in the comments, are you one of those people spending ridiculous amount of money? If you are, make sure to change that habit this year. Make sure to get financially independent. Make sure to let's get this money and become successful in this world.